guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are recording a video on an editing tutorial. I guess I'm asking in my comments about how I edit my videos like this, and I decided I'll make a quick tutorial. Just a reminder, it won't be quick. But yeah, so to start off with, the mods you're gonna need are I'll just show my mods folder, but yeah, so your first So you're gonna need this is just the game speed mod by Game For You, which is to make piston movements smoother and like slow down the game and everything. Then mod menu, so I can open this menu, OptiFabric, and you can add Optifine with this then. Because if you want to do Optifine with Fabric, you need a mod called OptiFabric. And then Replay mod and World Edit. These are the two actual important ones. So I guess we can begin with the editing tutorial then. So I'm just gonna find a quick build that I could do this tutorial on. So I haven't found a build, but as you know, this is my Ezkidtrix server. It's public, anyone can log on, and yeah. I'm just gonna show one of my unreleased builds right now. I have a lot of unreleased builds right now. If you want to check them out, you can log on to Ezkidtrix and check out my plot. Here's this one. This is the 4x4 tutorial. I'm not gonna do the editing tutorial on this one because this is gonna be very complicated with all of these circuits. I'm just gonna do a small build. And there you go. It's the full 4x4 tutorial. It's my first actual full one. My other ones were semi ones because they were a quad extender, not a quint extender, which that one has a quint extender. So it took me a couple days to make, but there are a lot of builds around here, but you can check them all out if you would like to. Okay, I think I'll do it on one of my 5x5s, I think would be useful. Do this 5x5. This is a very quick 5x5 piston dwarf. It's one of my quickest ones that I've made. It opens in like 3.8 seconds or something like that. So yeah. I was gonna make a video on this, but then I decided not to because I didn't want to spend hours making it. So yeah, and I just didn't have the time to at the time. But since it's so simple, I'm just gonna do the editing tutorial on this. So what I do is I copy the schematics. So I do copy, so I copy the build. You don't need to do this. You could just do it in single player. And then I save it as a schematics. Then I can paste it into single player. We're going to call it 5x6 block 5x5 door epic. Okay, and then I'll go to the server files, and I can drag the end of my file manager. So give me a second to do that, and I'll be done. I'm just going to go to the server file manager, plugins, fast async world edit. Also, if you ever run a server with world edit, I recommend fast async world edit because it can do much smoother and faster. It can do just much smoother and faster things, and it can paste things very fast. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, so now I'm going to go to my schematics. Wait, no, that's the wrong folder. And if you want to find the schematics folder, go to your .minecraft folder, then config, world edit, and then schematics. Okay. Now that we have that in place, let's head back into a world. I'm gonna create a new world for this called editing. Yes, I did not have any of this planned out today, so. And then what I do with this is I first will do these game rules so that nothing else will happen, and I recommend doing these so that it will not mess up. So start off 5, keep inventory on, that's not really required. Disable raids isn't really required. And then turn off all spawning, all drops, and all world updates, and then announce achievements and broadcast command block output. All of those are going to be off, and then you can load up a world, click air, and then just type in air as the preset, and then yeah, so let's load up into the world, I guess. Okay, when you load in, you're going to be falling into the void, so you have to be quick flying up. But once you're up, you can do /up 40 or something up to the Y level you want. It's like 61, but okay. So you can set the time to whatever you want. I normally do about like a sunset time for my edits because it looks good, but it doesn't really matter. So then you can list the schematics, or you could just copy and paste the schematic from like a different world or whatever. And let me just find it because I have a billion schematics in this folder. So here it is. Load, and then before you load anything, do this command: perf neighbors off. So /perf neighbors off. This will make it so that the door doesn't like activate whenever you paste it in. So it's kind of helpful in like cases like this. Okay, so if you'd like more tutorials like this, I would be happy to make it for you, because it's not really too difficult particularly, but yeah. So to start off with, I would give myself the effect, but I just recently figured out a way to make it with the players, so I'll show that once we go into the replay editor. But you effect give your name invisibility, and then I'll show the alternative to this later. And the maximum amount of seconds, 255, that doesn't really matter, it can be 1 to 255, then click true. And now you will be invisible. Okay, so now all we have to do is, I'm not going to add music with this edit, but actually I'm just going to add it, and then I'll show the final edit at the end of this video, so yeah. So then after this, all we have to do is, I'm just going to make this edit one clip for now, just because it will be easier, and I don't want to spend hours just making all of these other clips. So I'm going to grab a stopwatch. So what I do normally is I just, time it with the music. So what I would do, for example, is I would record the intro clip for a certain amount of seconds in the music, and then after that, I would switch to like the circuit showcase, for example. But I'm going to do this a little bit different. And you might see an edit coming up with this editing style, okay? So basically, what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to start recording first. And then I'm going to start the stopwatch, and I'm going to wait until probably, let's do 30 seconds. Let's do 35 seconds, because all of this is just going to be one clip. Then I will open and close the door, so. And yeah, the editing program is Adobe After Effects. It's a paid program, but there are many alternatives, but I'm just gonna use Adobe After Effects for this showcase. So after you like start the stopwatch and it gets to the number of seconds you want, you can close and open the door, do whatever you want with it. You can like do whatever you want with the thing, and yeah. Then I'm gonna stop recording there, and yeah. Actually, wait, no, I just messed this up, I just realized. Wait, no, I didn't, okay. And then what we have to do after that is, next, after that clip is recorded, here comes the bit which that person, I can't remember your name, but sorry about that, but yeah, so here comes the part that I think a lot of people want to figure out. So you grab your world edit wand, copy one position, grab another position, and then all you have to do is I place a glass block here. It's not actually required to place the glass block here. You could just place a barrier block, but it's kind of harder to see that way. But I'll just do a barrier just for an example, just because I'll do glasses at it just so you can see it better. But you could use a barrier block as well. Okay, and then we copy it from here, and then sometimes it's a big build. I'll save a schematic of this, but it's very important that you copy it from this location, because when you paste it, that's the location it will paste in at, if you didn't know about that with World Edit. So now all we have to do is, I'll show the camera path and replay mod stuff next, but all we have to do now is delete some of this. I'm just going to do all the circuit just because I think it would be cool, but okay, so I'm just going to, it doesn't really matter what order you do these in, because that's going to be an editing thing that you're going to change. It's relative to preference, but yeah, so, yeah. Okay, so, I'm going to do this really quick. Also, I do have a public Discord server. You can find the link to that on my channel banner. And yeah, so, now that we have all of this laid out, what we have to do now is, let me finish deleting the wall links. So this is what I start off with, and then I will copy the build from here. So just copy. I would copy it when there's no blocks. You could actually type this command -A minus A to not copy the error, but then you'd have to paste it like that. But yeah, I don't really know how to do that. But yeah. So I normally start off by doing the side circuits, but it doesn't really matter what order you do it in right now. But yeah, so I'm just gonna start off with the layout because that's what I would normally do. So yeah. So I'm just gonna delete all of these blocks but the layout, yeah. And then, okay, so, and then, we have this, but okay. And now I can delete all the circuit wiring but the pistons. What I normally do is I delete the inputs. I thought I turned that off, but okay, And I normally delete all the piston inputs so that nothing can really mess up like that. And all I have to do is this. This and that. Okay, and then I always delete all the piston inputs first, and I do this for a specific reason, and that one reason is because you might delete something that'll update an observer or something, and it'll mess up the rest of the build, so I don't really want to do that. There might be other ways to do this circuit showcase, but this is the only way that I know like how to do it. It's kind of a long way, but it's totally worth it, so yeah. And I'll delete the sides. I normally keep the input block there just as a reference to where everything is going to be. And then all I have to do is just delete all the redstone, so yeah, this is a very tedious process, kind of, but it's going to be all worth it at the end of the day, okay? Just trust me. This pain is worth it, okay? And, yeah. So, this is just, okay. Just gonna delete the rest of these inputs now, okay. I can just delete this, okay. Let's delete all the wiring again. And now we do this, that, okay. Now that all the inputs are gone, we are safe to basically delete the entire thing. I'm just gonna butterfly click for this just to make it go faster. Now that we have the first circuit in, we record another 40, like whatever second clip you want. So, just really quickly, I'm going to see how long that clip was, but I'm gonna make it 35 seconds just for the circuit showcase. So, I'm gonna pull out the stopwatch again. You can either do it on the phone or your browser or whatever, okay? So I'm gonna start it again and do it for 35 seconds. And I'm gonna make this 35 seconds is very important. I've never really made an edit like this with this style, so I might mess up a few things, but I'm gonna go over all the basics and stuff like that. And then after you have that clip recorded, you can stop recording with replay mod by the record buttons are right there. And then you have this clip, okay. And then once you have this, you can go to the glass block or whatever block you did and paste the build back in, just like that. And now that the build is back in, you can do the next circuit, which is going to be the side circuit next, I guess. So we'll just do the side circuit, but yeah, so, yeah, okay. The side circuit really isn't that hard, and this is just the same thing for all the circuits, but I'm just going to go through it just as a demonstration. Thought I added the game rules, didn't I? what I did. I don't know what happened to the game rules, but okay. And now I delete all the pistons because I don't, and the blocks because they're not really needed. So when I'm doing these circuits, I'll just delete the pistons and everything just because I don't want them there and messing up. So yes, so that's what I do at the start of all the other circuits. The side circuit on this isn't really too big, so there's not really anything that I really have to change, but yeah. So the side circuit is just the gray right here, and yeah, it's not too difficult to see that, but yeah. And then this doesn't really go into anything, it's just the input at the bottom, so I'll just delete that, and then yeah. I can't remember what the input at the bottom side was, but I'm just doing this quick so it doesn't really matter at this point, but yeah. So, you also don't really, what I used to do in my edits is I used to make it so that the input of the circuit also showed, which I don't really like the way it looks, because it makes it like kind of confusing, because it's not actually part of the circuit, it's like the input of the circuit. So if you may look back in my old edits, you may see that. By the way, that 7x7 piston door edit was very, very rushed, even though I spent a really long time on it. The door itself, if you remember the 7x7 piston door, yeah, that took absolutely forever to make. It took about a little bit less than a week to make the door, I'm pretty sure, so, yep. That is the entire side circuit. It's not really too difficult, so. But also, I just realized the circuit color is messed up or whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter, so. I'll see orange wolf for whatever reason, but yeah. And we record the same 35-second clip. And yeah. Gonna see how long this is, so fun. This video is already 17 minutes long. You can skip through this part of it. I'll put timestamps in the description of the video, just in case you want to skip to like the actual part that you want to see. So, but I'm just showing the replay mod editing right now. So this video is probably gonna be super long, like my 7x7 cave door tutorial. So just be aware of that. So if you're gonna watch this entire thing, that would be great. Okay, so now after 35 seconds, you can stop recording again. It just matters how long the clip is. I'm not going to do multiple clips this edit just because I want to be simple, but for multiple clips, you would record like a 20-second one of you doing of a showcase around it, and then you would record the rest of the circuits 25 seconds. It would really not be that hard. So, and then I'll show some of the project files in my old edits, but yeah. And the next circuit is going to be the bottom closing. So yeah, this is the process that takes the longest. After you do all of this, it's like just not too difficult from there. After you do all of the circuits right here and they're all done, it's really easy from there. All you have to do is just do the editing, which is much more fun than doing this all day. So yeah. I'm just going to butterfly click delete all of this because, yeah. And at the end of the video, as I mentioned, I'm going to show some of my other edits just so you can get an example of what some other edits, project files would look like. Okay, and then now all we have to do is this, okay. And then the closing. Closing is just going to be that, okay. And then I think that should be it, yeah. I can delete this because this is not part of it. This is not part of the actual thing itself, so yep. And then all we have to do is also, if you have any note blocks that are making sounds in your edits, what I recommend you do is I recommend that you place like stringer or carpet on top of them just for the edit to make them not make a sound. It's really helpful if you do that because then there's not the annoying note block sound that you can hear a lot. So, by the way, it doesn't even matter if you're holding anything in your hand during the edit because you can change it in replay mode. But yeah, I'm gonna delete the rest of this. And why is tile drops not working? Game rule. tile drops false. Like what? I'm confused. Okay, now it works, but that's odd. But okay, so now we have this closing circuit. And we're gonna set another 35-second timer. I'm going through this process just in case you don't really know like how to start from here. I would skip through it, but I'll just put timestamps in the description so that you can tell either way. Yeah, but during this time, you can literally do anything you want when you're doing a replay mod. Like, you can even, like, build something. That's how people do time lapses. And I'm not going to go through time lapses in this video, but I'll go through how to work time keyframes, because that's how they do, like, speed up and speed down videos with replay mod. But, yeah, so from there, now you paste in the door. Again, I'm just doing this door because it's going to be really simple. And there's not many circuits that, there's only a couple which I don't, there should only be, there should be not too many circuits, which is why I kind of chose this, because I don't want to spend an hour making this setup, but yeah, so. Now we have the bottom triple. So the bottom triple extender is not too difficult, it's just this circuit, which not too difficult to see, so I'm just going to delete this. And there's just a bottom triple circuit that's not too difficult to see. It's harder to do big builds because it's much more tedious to delete everything and not break anything, if you know what I mean by that. So that's kind of the reason why I don't really like doing big builds, because they take absolutely so much time. And I don't like spending hours making an edit, but if it's a build that I'm really proud of, I guess I could do it, but I don't know. But I recommend you try this on like smaller builds, like smaller redstone builds, before you go into like big builds, because big builds are much harder because it takes much longer to do it. So I recommend just doing a small build so you don't spend hours and then it for some reason just doesn't work. But yeah, so that's this, and then I'm gonna start recording again, and yeah. Now we just wait 30 more seconds. Okay, 20 seconds in. Almost there, 3 more seconds, 1, and stop. Okay. Now that we have that, we paste in this build one more time. Actually, no, 3 more times for the top circuits. I'm trying to do this quick because I don't feel like spending hours just doing an editing tutorial. But I do want to show a lot of things about editing, so there's going to be so the After Effects section is going to be very long. This is probably going to be the longest section. Why are things just dropping still? I don't understand why tile drops isn't working. Also, make sure you don't delete that glass block because that's where you paste it from, so just a reminder on that. I just use butterfly clicking or jitter clicking to delete all of these because it's really annoying, so really annoying otherwise. So I think I'm gonna do okay. And then the next I'm gonna do 2 circuits in one, which is gonna be actually no, I'll just do them individually because not really too bad. So okay. And then I'm going to do the top closing first. Then I'll do the quad with and then I'll do the quad and the refire because I don't want to do an extra circuit because this will take absolutely forever, so, okay. Actually, I'm going to do them individually because if you do them individually, it's much easier to, like, see which circuits are which, so, yeah. Now we start recording for the top closing. And now we just wait a minute. It's actually not a minute, but it will be a while. Oh, I hurt my arm. That's fun. Okay, Oh, okay, timer's almost done, okay. Stop recording, okay. For some reason my arm is bleeding. I didn't even notice that it was, so I'm just gonna try and cry for a second. But, yeah, okay. Did I stop recording? Yes, indeed I did, okay. Just gonna keep that. Okay, I'm gonna reset the timer, okay. Okay. Even though if you do individual circuits, it will take longer, but it will make it much easier to see which circuits are which, and you can like name the replay files easier. It'll make the replay files easier to name. But yeah, so fun. And now I'm just going to delete all of this. And now we have the top quad next. Isn't really that difficult, I don't think, so yeah. I'm gonna do inputs because I don't want, I didn't do input circuit because, and inputs for the different circuits because they'll take absolutely forever, so. I just realized that I just deleted a part that's actually needed. Fun, okay, now we just have a, fun, my arm was still bleeding, yay, okay, okay, so, now that we have this, the reverse circuit isn't too big, but I'm still not gonna put them together, but, yeah, so. But I'll also show how to do fades and everything like that in After Effects, because that's pretty fun, so. Pretty fun to do, but it might take a little bit of time, so. And then now, let's see. Just figured out that I deleted another input up here. I'm so good. Okay, fun. And now we just have to delete that now, okay? Now we do this. Okay. And now we just have to delete these circuits at the bottom. Fun. Why do I keep deleting stuff I don't mean to delete? And we'll have to do this one more time. How long is this edit? Oh, it's been, how long? 28 minutes already. Okay, I'm gonna try and speed through the replay mod editing because that'll take forever, so. But the replay mod editing shouldn't take too long. But the rendering will take forever, so. I'm gonna skip through the rendering part because that's the most annoying thing ever. It takes forever for replay clips to render if they're long. Start the timer, okay. Okay, now we're just gonna wait 20 more seconds for the stopwatch to be done. I'll skip through the actual parts where it's rendering replay clips because those take a while to render. So now the last little piece we have to do is this. first, just delete all of the bottom. Delete all the door blocks, of course, because we don't need those at this point in time. So I'm gonna delete all the pistons that didn't mess up or anything like that. Okay, and then okay, and then now we this. Now all we have to do is just do a simple case of this. And this should be the entire input circuit, I think. Not the input circuit, the refire circuit, okay. And that should be it, okay. Yep, and this is the last thing. So recording, okay. And now I just wait here for the last clip, and I'm really hoping this is the last one because I don't want to spend another hour editing or just doing replay clips, so. Oh wait, I just realized I've been recording more than 35 seconds, okay. And that's all of the things done. I recommend if you're doing multiple clips in the replay that you paste it back so that you can do the other clips. Now that we're done with that, we can actually get into the replay clip editing. As you can see, all of them are saved, and yeah. And if you want to find the replay viewer, if you're in 1.17 above, it'll be this button right here. Here are all the clips. You can see the name of it. Oh, that's 45 seconds fun. So now we can start editing. So okay, I'm gonna head up. Wait, this is wrong. Oh, this is the wrong one. It is this one. And then pause this. Okay, here's how to edit in replay mode. So start off with pressing B on your keyboard and making your player not visible by clicking that. And then now we just have to build a quick, make a quick camera path. So first, put in a time keyframe right here and a position keyframe where you want to start. So another position, time keyframe at this point in the clip. And now if you want to make the clip quicker, like speed up the clip, you can make this time keyframe shorter in the time period and it'll speed up the things. But for now, what I like to do is I like to go every single dot and move around the camera just a little bit so you can see all the circuits and everything. I'm just going to make this edit one clip just for a simple process, but I'll show the finished edit after I do all the settings. So then I like to go down to the bottom and then head back up a little bit so you can see the entire thing. I like to stay like a little bit of a distance away from it just in case you want to be easier to see. So gonna be at 35 seconds is when the door opens. So and then I'm just gonna make this one clip because as I explained, I don't want to make this take years long. But I'm experimenting with this new type of edit, so that's why I'm trying it in this thing right here. So 35 seconds is right there. Okay, so we still have time to do all of this, okay. And then if you want to move the position keyframes, you can just do it like that. And for like moving around, I recommend you go every one of these like dots. Okay, and then now all we have to do is this. Go up like this. And then now I'm just going to go into the door and watch it open. And that's going to be the rest of the clip. And then once you're done with it, I recommend not doing all of the position keyframes and then playing it. I recommend doing a couple and then try to play it, because if you mess up something and you do the entire replay clip, then you have to redo it. So, but since I'm very experienced with replay mod, I know how it works and stuff, so I don't really have to worry about that. But yeah. There's like the very cool shots of the door. And then now it goes into it just like that, and the door will open and close. In a second, okay. And there's the entire clip, okay. Now here's what I recommend doing. I recommend pressing X on your keyboard, and then you want to save the camera path, because then you're going to do it in a different edit. So I'm going to call it 5x5 door, and then I'll save it, and then I'll click copy like 1,000 times just in case you mess up something. And then after you do that, that's good, and now you can render this. So once you click that button to render it, just make these default rendering and then click this, and then you can set the bitrate of 15 because that'll make it look smooth, whatever quality you want. Then you can name the clip, so I'm going to call it 5x5. 5x5 edit main. That's all I'm going to, and I'm just going to do that. So, and after you have all your settings configured, then you can click render. And then you can spend an hour waiting for replay clips to render. I'm just going to speed through this part when I actually edit the video itself. And your Minecraft might say not responding, but it will then bring you to the rendering screen after a little bit. Sometimes it does that. I know it's really annoying sometimes. And as you can see, it brought the screen. Now you can show the preview, but that will make it take longer to render, so I'm not really going to do that. Now I normally like to do multiple clips because then it will take less time to render, so that's what I normally like doing, but yeah, I'm just going to skip through this part. Okay, is it almost done? Yes, it is. I'm just looking at Discord. And once it's done rendering, you will get a screen that will look like something. Now, when it's done rendering, it will give you a little notification here. Now you can click open video folder, or it will open your replay videos folder. Then you can search up whatever your thing was when you actually finished the edit. So I'm not going to do that right now. Now it's time for me to spend an hour editing the rest of them. Paste in the camera path, load it in, and yeah, there we go. And then now the camera path is just the same. And then also, so if you don't want to look through the clip, if you render it, your Minecraft might crash, and I don't know why it does this, but they might demonstrate it here, but I did layout, and then I call it what the circuit is, leave all the settings like I want it, and then I'll click render. And now we wait another 5 trillion years for this. I could probably just add it to the render queue, which you could probably do, and it would be a lot quicker, but you could just add it to the render queue, and then you could render all of them at once. I think that's how it works, but I've never used that before, so this is just a way I'm showing how to do it. There's probably many other ways to do this, but yeah. But also, if you have a slower computer, this might take a while, because it takes a while to render frames like this. So if you have a slow computer, you're probably going to wait for a 2000 frames clip. You're probably going to have to wait probably about like 5 minutes if you have a slow computer. And then if it does this, that's kind of a natural thing sometimes, but you just have to relaunch your Minecraft. It's really annoying. That's why I don't like doing this, because then you have to relaunch your Minecraft and it takes forever. So, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. If it does that, I know it's really annoying, and yep, and you just have to relaunch your Minecraft. Yes, I know it's very annoying. Gone through it many times. It's very annoying. Then you don't really have to. Then click yes, because you have to save it again if you're thinking of saving it. But now that we have that one done, we go to this one now. And now all we have to do with this is just paste in the other clip. Press X again, click paste, and then we click load, click render, and then click a 5x5 edit, and then I'll do a sides. And I click render like normal, and yeah. Okay, it is almost done. Okay, it crashed again. Yay! Also, if you can't move your mouse in the window, press the Windows key if you're on Windows, and then you'll be able to press it from there. So, yeah. Probably just gonna cut through all of this now that you know what to do. Just gonna cut through this part. I'll see you in the next bit. Okay, now after all of the replay clips are done, you can head into your replay videos folder, and then you can search for the first two words or the first word, then you will see all of your clips. Oh, and yeah, you might have these things, but I just forgot to put the player visibility off. Okay, now when you have that up, open your program, also known as After Effects. And I will show you what to do from there. Okay, so now after you open After Effects, it might lag at the start, but you have to click New Composition, name it whatever you want, 505 Edit Tutorial, and probably make it about a minute long. I'm just gonna make it a minute long, and yeah. And you can set it to whatever frame rate and everything like that. And boom, after your composition is finished loading, mine is still loading, but it should finish in a minute. Okay, now that it is done, all you have to do is start by dragging your main clip in. After you have all of that, yep. I'm just gonna drag in the music that I want to use, which I don't know. Do I have the music I want somewhere? I don't think it's on my desktop. It might be somewhere, but... If you would like to see this edit, it's gonna be up on my YouTube channel if you would like to see it when it is done. So, let me find the music that I want really quick. Here it is. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, now that we have the music in, it's probably gonna be very loud, so you'll probably want to turn down your volume on the music by going to audio and audio levels and turn it down to whatever volume you would like. Then I'll start cutting it to the part that I want it to be on. It's about right here because I don't want it to be quiet when I start the clip. It's kind of loud, I'm still gonna turn it down. You have to experiment with what volume you would like. Then at the end of the clip, you could cut the music wherever you want it. So it's like 45 seconds, but whatever. Okay, so when you start it, next all you have to do is drag all of your Circuit Showcase clips in to the composition right there. After it imports all the items, you put the main clip above all of them, just like that. And then what you want to do then is you want to and then make them in the order that you would want them to go in. So for example, if I want mine to go right here, so I want it to, for example, go layout and then closing second. And then I would like a bottom triple next. And I would want bottom closing next, and then bottom triple. And then I would want the quad, and then the refire, and then the side. So this is the order that I would like it in. So then all you have to do after that is skip to the part of the clip where you would like the circuit showcase to start at. So I would like it to start at the beat drop, or the music space, so right here. So I would drag the first clip to start right here, and then, for example, I would make the length of each of them for whatever I would like, just because I'm just going to start it for now, but just make it so whatever fits in your clip will fit, and then all you have to do from there is to make it the right length, and then you're going to be good. And then after you do that, all you have to do from there is make the length of the clips in your crumbs the smart part of the clip. You are going to start off by then making the first one above the second one just a little bit longer than the one below it. And this is for the fade that's going to come in later. The fade transition between the circuits, that's what's going to come in later. So just do that for now. So after you have all of that, then all you have to do is start by then cutting the main clip at the start and cutting it where you want it to end. So I kind of would like the circuit showcase to end right here, so I actually need to shorten this by a lot because I kind of want the clip to end early, so I'm going to quickly do that. And I want the circuit showcase to end about right here. So what I'm going to do then is I want it to end right here. So then what I'll need to do is I'll need to make this a lot shorter. So each circuit will be a lot shorter. And then it'll be fine from there. Make it whatever length you will need for your edit, and then we can move on from there. I'm just making it like this. Cool, this video is already an hour long. It's not gonna be an hour long for you because I'm gonna like edit it and all that good stuff. So yeah. Now all I would like is for this to end right about there. Okay. And now we start by right here is where the fade needs to start, and then it'll need to end right here. Okay. So what you do with this main clip right here, so you go to the main circuit showcase clip, or where you want the circuit showcase to start, then go to the clip, press this arrow, then click transform, and then click this button to keyframe the opacity. Set it to probably 2 keyframes, and then you can set it to whatever visibility you would like and what looks good to you. So for example, I like probably the look of 35. This is what I normally do in my edits. I think it looks pretty good. I could try 40. How does that look? Oh, that looks better. We'll do 40 just for the setup, and then when you do that, you can play it and it will look just like that. Make it the length that you would want to fade it, so put them apart from each other. Then now you can see it would look like that. I think that might just be a little bit quick, but let's try them. And then there's the circuits, and then from there, all you have to do is now go to this top clip. So now that that's actually, and then at the end of the main circuit showcase clip, you want to put a keyframe at 100, and then go as many keyframes as you want over to, and then change it to 40 from there. And then that should be the fade complete. And then now what you need to do from there for the actual circuit showcase, the circuits themselves, go to the first circuit, click transform again, click keyframe the opacity right at this starting point, so where it overlaps, and then you can switch that to 0. Start at 100, then switch it to 0. I think that'll probably look good. And then you can do the same for the rest of them. So then you would open up this one. Okay, and then you don't have to make the clips the same length. It was just what I did to fit it in properly. And then you now just make it edit over. Make it back to 0 now. And after you do that, the next clip, which will be right here. And then let's see how this looks before I play the rest of it. And from there, but yeah. I'll say that looks pretty good from here, and now we can start editing this again. Let's do this, and we can do this. Edit the opacity again. And for text, if you're gonna do a fade on text, I'll tell you what I recommend when we do that. But then after that, go to the transform again, opacity, and then keep that at 100, and then hit it to 0, and then do this. And then for the last one right here, actually not the last two, I mean not the last one, the last two, and we change the keyframe, the opacity right here. Change it to 0 then. Okay, and then next, the last clip, which is gonna be right here. Skip over the part you would like it to be at, and then you can now put the keyframes there, like we would normally do. And then that's basically the entire circuit showcase done, I guess. Now all we need to do is add the text layers, and here's the final product of this part. It might lag like this, like it's doing right now, because this green bar right here is not rendering. You need this entire bar right here to be rendered, which means you might have to render it through just a little bit before you play the last part of the clip, which can take a while, so you're probably going to play it through a couple times for this to render all the way through. So I recommend like just playing it until this all does its thing. As you can see, that looks pretty good. And then if you want to stop or start it, you would press the space bar. And here you can, and then also if it looks choppy for you, like the playback speed is weird, change the skip thing to 0. That's really how simple it is. I had that problem at first, but yeah. And then I'm going to go to this, okay. I have this, and we're going to need to do the text for it. So I'm going to start off by doing this. So I'm going to go to this, I'm going to start by adding a text layer right here. And I'm going to do 5x5. I'm going to edit this to be white. You can change it to whatever color in the character tab. And whatever size you would also like. So I'm going to change it to 50. Probably would look good. Oh, what? No, I want it to be Okay, wait. I'm gonna make this font 50. Okay, and then if that messes up, you can just recreate the text layer. So then we can do 5x piston door. Looks fun. 576 block. 5x5 piston door. And then all I have to do from there is make it in the position you would like. So it's not really too hard. And then if you would like to make this go down, for example, press the enter key and then you can space until it's in the middle. Just like that. And then is that done? And then you can add probably another one, for example. Like I would put the version for it, example. 1.16. Oh, 1.616. Oh, why can't I not type? MC 1.16 plus. Control Z. I don't want that. Okay. And we will align it with the side, and then we can put it right below it to where we like the spacing, and there we go. And then now we can make it in the part of the clip which we would like to. And here's how you do the text fade, which I was talking about before, so I'll show that really quick. So here's how to do that. So to start off with, if you want to do multiple clips at the fade, highlight both of them by holding Control and press it, just like that. Hold Control and press the second one. Open up one of them, click Transform, click Opacity for both of them. And then that will set an opacity keyframe, and both of them will be invisible. Then we'll go 1, 2. And I recommend going 3 frames over, and how you do that is by each thing we're trying to go about this far over. And then you can set it to 100. And then at the end of the clip, go to the very end of the clip and set these to 0. And then go like 3 frames back over and set it to 100 again. This way you don't have to do something else to do it. That's just an easy way to do it. And now once you play the clip, it will look good. Let's see that again. Right there. So I think I'm gonna edit this because I think it'll probably look better like that. Okay, yep, that looks good to me. Wait, and yeah, sometimes it'll reverse like that. It's because this won't render sometimes, and it's really weird how it does that. But if you play it through a couple times, it will render eventually, so just note about that. And then now I'm going to put the size of the door, so for example, I would do for the length, width, and height, the length across is going to be 9. Can't type. 9, oh. I'll just do 9 by 4 and then by 16. And then I would align that like that. And okay. And then I'll have to do just that now. And then now that I have that, I would just make the text layer just like about this probably. And then I would do that same fade thing. Just like this. I have no idea how big this video file size will be. The OBS recording right now. This recording, I have no idea how big the file will be, and I'm expecting it to be huge, so. And we click 0, and then we go to. Go right there and change it to 100. And then I think really quickly I'm going to make this just a little bit longer. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this to make it more over so you can see it better. See how that looks. And there's that. And now we just have to add the text layer for all of these, which is kind of long. But I'm just going to speed through this part. I'm going to skip through it. But yeah, so I'm start off by, if you want to do that effect that I did in my 3x2 hipster door, where it like stayed there, that's, I could explain a whole nother video, but that's called 3D motion tracking. It's an effect, and it takes forever to do, so I'm not going to show in this video. But if you want me to make a video on that, comment it, I guess. But yeah, so what you would do, for example, is I would do this. So I would type in a layout, and then I would probably make it just a little bit bigger, so it could be easier to see. And then I would color it to like the piston color about, just like that, and then I would align it with the side. Just like that, and then I probably might make it just a little bit bigger. That looks good to me. And then now all we have to do is add the fading with this. So now let's just do this. Okay, now let's just add the fade with this. So it's transform. And then you set it to 100, just like that, and then you go to the end, set it to 0, and then 3 frames back over and set it to 100, just like that. And then there you go, you have the first text, just like that. And then now we have the bottom closing. Now I would set this to like an orange color to match the circuit, which is probably about that color. That matches it, I would say. Probably a little bit lighter, actually. Now we go to the transform and do this again. 100, and then after I do this, I'm just gonna speed this up to make you guys not wait a trillion years for me to do this. And then 100. I'm actually not even going to speed this up because I feel like I'm too lazy for that. Pretty much I'm not going to speed up this video. I'm just going to completely upload this video without editing because I don't want, because then I have to wait another hour for rendering the video. But yeah. And what I like to do for since there's multiple colors, the triple extension, triple retraction right here, what I like to do is I like to make one word, like one of these words, one of the colors, and then make the other one the other color. So I would do like purple. And I would hold shift, highlight the entire thing, and then I would click light blue. Which is about that color. And then there you have it. That's probably might need to be a little bit darker. Okay. Now oh wait, no. Okay, now that should be fine. Yay. And then now that you have the bottom triple text, the last 2 circuits. And then one more time. Actually a couple more times. And you might have keyframes that set it like that, but it's whatever, okay. And then the last 2, which are gonna be about right there. Top quad. I'm not like explaining much of this because I already kind of explained it in other circuits, so. Boom, boom, opacity 0. 3 keyframes over, set another 100, or 3 frames, not 3 keyframes. Set it to 0 from there, and then 1, 2, 3, set it to 100. And it is as simple as that. And then the last 2 actually at the top refire on sides. Top refire. Actually, I have an idea for this. Since I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to redo this, I'm just gonna Control D this, and then I'm just gonna put it right here. And now I'm just going to edit the text itself, because I'm too lazy to do this so fun. Now I'm just going to edit the text to say top refire, because I'm too lazy to do the other thing. So top refire. Let me do pink. And then after that, we then have the side circuit. Sides, okay. And then I'll also show how to render it, because you're going to need another program for rendering. Set it to 0, and then 1, 2, 3, and then set it to 100. Boom! And after all of that work, you finally have pretty much almost the entire thing. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was talking to my mom. And now you can see After Effects is lagging again because it hates me apparently. You kind of just have to reverse it sometimes and then wait for it to render again. It's gonna sound weird because the music is, it's kind of trying to render the actual thing. Don't really understand why this video is so hard to render After Effects. Then all I would do after that is just add a thanks for watching text. Now I would just do that. And then I'll try to do like a quick music fade as well, because I like to do that on some edits as well, because that sounds kind of cool, so. And then now I set it this to 0 and 1, 2, 3, this to 100. And then all we have to do after that is just head to the end of this. And we composition, and if you look at this time, you set the time on the composition right here to that exact timestamp. And then there. Oh, I don't know why. It's because I didn't actually fully render the actual thing. So I'm kind of dumb and need to make it 48 seconds. I forgot to do that. Now it should be done. Move these keyframes just a little bit closer. Fully makes the text appear, okay. And then now the last one, I'm just gonna cut out the music right here, and I'm just gonna do a music fade. And then all I have to do from here is cut part of the music, like a little part of it, so probably about that much is fine. Control-Shift-D it to cut it. I never mentioned how to cut things. It's hold Control-Shift and then press D. And then go open up this audio, and then it's really not hard. You just keyframe the audio over time and then slowly make it smaller. So then I would go to like 27, but I would like space these out just a little bit more. And I would do like a -35 about, and then I would just completely fade it out right here. And then later just make it like -50. Okay. And then as you can see, this music ending right there. Sounds pretty good. And there you go. There is your edit. Finally done after an hour and 30 minutes of recording. But yeah, this edit will be on my YouTube channel, so stay on the lookout for that, because I'll upload it after this video. after it finishes rendering, because After Effects is terrible. So yeah, it finishes doing its thing right here, I guess. Why is it still doing its thing? Please just work, please. What is this? Why? Oh, please just work. Thank you and please hurry up and render. Because I just want to show this entire edit. Now I will show the entire edit. Final product, I guess you could say. I don't know why this thing just doesn't want to work, but hopefully it doesn't mess it up, hopefully. And it is gonna mess it up. I love After Effects. Please, just work faster. I hate this. I want to show this edit in smooth. Please, After Effects, just work for me. It might sound weird if you have a slow computer, because the screen bar might take forever to render if you have a slow computer. Okay, finally I can show it in smooth format. There we go. That looks much better. And there's the entire edit done. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It took forever to make this, an hour and 36 minutes, but yeah, now you can see the process it takes to make an edit like this. But before the video ends, I need to show the how to render this. So you'll need Adobe Media Encoder for this, or else the file size is going to be like a terabyte if you make an edit like this. So I recommend Adobe Media Encoder for this, because it'll make it 1,000 times, billion times easier, and it'll be much faster. So yeah, I'll show how to do this really quick, and then the edit will be on my YouTube channel. And bring this over to my middle monitor. Also, I would recommend, if you have a bad computer, I recommend saving this project file every once in a while, which I forgot to mention. Because then if it messes up or anything, or After Effects crashes, you'll still have the results. So I'm just going to quickly name it 505 edit. Real. And then I'll save the project and you can render this. Okay. After this is done, you can click the format, click this button, then it'll connect to a dynamic link server, which might take a minute. But then after it finishes, it will open up this window, which is on my other monitor. Then it'll open up this window. So select the format H.264. This is how you get the file size really low. And then make the bitrate down here 15, so it's smoother. And then set the frame sampling to optical flow to make it smoother. And there you go. And now all you have to do is select the destination where you would want it. I'm going to do my After Effects folder and save it right there. And then you just have to wait a minute. Depending on how long your video is, it'll take longer to render. I'm just going to close this for now. But yeah, from there, that should be it. Yep, and now we just have to wait a minute for this to render. But yeah, And then when it's done, you can just open this path where the video is rendered. Okay, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was pretty fun to make and a very long one to make, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.